Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a dazzled or disappointed for you on something that is, I'm sure, very highly anticipated. I have gotten a few, I posted about this on Instagram and I got a few comments, so that usually tells me that people are excited about something. So today's going to be a dazzled or disappointed on the Natasha Denona Lila palette. So it's always kind of, I'm trying to think of what the word is. When I think about doing a review on something like this, I'm thinking, okay, is it going to be received well or not, only because it's something that's so expensive. And so I hate putting something out there for that maybe not, a lot of people are just, just can't go for, or whatever the case may be. But I know there are a lot of you who are interested in this palette, and so I want to throw up my thoughts. It's not very often that I plunk down this much money for something, for one item, but we all know that Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes are luxury eyeshadow palettes, and so I mentioned in my, I think it was in my haul, that, I like that she has been coming out with these smaller eyeshadow palettes as opposed to the really big $239 ones or whatever, because this makes it a little bit more attainable for me. So the $200 and some ones I will never pick up because I will never put down that much money on one item. And so this makes it a little more achievable. I will also say that I was able to pick it up during a, using a coupon code, which is not very often for Sephora. It's a couple times a year, but they just so happen to have one right now in September. So I was able to save 15% off of this, which was even better. It made it even more attainable for me. So let's go ahead and get into this review so that I can show you swatches. I know some of y'all are really wondering, wanting to know if this compares to the Sunset palette as far as quality goes. I can tell you my thoughts. I am wearing it on my eyes today, just so you know. I always like to, whenever I'm going to review something, I try my best to wear it the day I'm going to film the video so that you can see what it looks like, how it's performing. So let's go ahead and go into swatches, and then we will come to that later in the video. So let's get started. So the box, Natasha Denona eyeshadow boxes are never really exciting. They're white with, they're very simple, let's just say that. So Natasha Denona Lila palette, that's all it has on there, and on the back it just got, I can't speak today for whatever reason. I feel like I'm trying to put two words into one. It has got a diagram of the eyeshadows on the back with the names. Of course, it's got ingredients, things like that. We're going to toss that to the side because that's not very exciting. What is very exciting is this right here. So if you remember the Sunset palette, it had the kind of orange faux leather cover. I love this material. I think the Star palette also had. I will grab those in a second so that you can see the comparison. But I love this material. It does make it feel very expensive, very luxurious, and I appreciate that. I love the color. Purple growing up was my favorite color. And I hated pink because I was like, pink is so girly, but purple is the best. Well, as you grow older, your tastes change, and now I'm like, there's nothing better than pink. It's so girly and feminine. But purple is a close second. So I do love this shade. It's kind of a grape color, which is really neat. And then you open it up, and consistent with the Star palette and the Sunset palette, you do get this little plastic divider. It is perforated so that, I don't want to blind you, but it is perforated so that you can rip it off if you like. I like to leave it on. It doesn't bother me. One, because it kind of catches the powder, it makes it less messy, I should say. And then I've got the eyeshadow names because that is where they are reflected. So I do happen to leave my little plastic protector on. The mirror does not cover the entire inner cover, but it's a decent sized mirror. In case you are one person on the go and you like to travel a lot and throw a palette in your suitcase. This is what the palette looks like. So the main theme in this is like pinks and purples. Let me get you up close. So I guess this kind of thing is always, I love the color scheme. I guess I'm just confused. I don't know how releases are planned, but because we're in fall, going into fall and then soon after winter, in my mind, brands are releasing like winter/holiday type palettes and sets, things like that. In this case, it's very not a fall-winter color scheme going on. In fact, I would have thought that this would come first, and then the Sunset palette maybe a little bit more towards fall and winter because of, I don't know, oranges and things like that. I'm completely wrong. I don't know the history behind all this stuff. All I know is that some brands come out with stuff and I'm like, oh, I need that. This was one of them. I don't care what season it comes out in. So it does come with 15 eyeshadows broken up in 3 rows. So let me go ahead and swatch these. I don't usually swatch on my thumb, but because there are exactly 15, I will go 5 at a time and swatch on my thumb. So let's just go ahead and jump right into these colors. Okay guys, whenever Doggy is in the room, you know I have to show him. So let me see if I can, excuse the mess. My room is a little, oh, he just moved. What are you doing, Bruce? There he is. Do you see him? Brucey, say hi. Hi. He's a cutie, that Bruce. Love him more than words can say. Okay, let's just go ahead and jump right into this first row. Here we go. This is what they look like, and it is Per Se, Viola, Amara, Cyclone, and Nude Vino. So that's what they look like right there. And then, as always, of course I always tell you this, that I do one swipe across my hand so that you really can see what pigmentation is like. So you can see this one right here, which one? The next to last one. Oh, slightly patchy, not anything horrible. Just a little bit patchy right there, but other than that, good pigmentation. I know, you know, a lot of YouTubers will rub a couple of times, but I feel like for me, and each one of us has our own methods and way of doing things. For me, honestly, I like to do one because it really shows what the quality is and the pigmentation. Then again, I will tell you that I have so many times had experiences where things swatch so amazing and then something's lost in translation once you get it on your eyelid, whether it be by brush or by finger. So anyways, that can also go south real quick. So let's just go ahead and go into row number 2. Hey Bubs, what are you doing? Second row, here's where we start really getting into some fun colors. We've got Layla, Amethyst, Magnetic, Magnolia, and Nude Mauve. So you're probably starting to see at this point that there are not a lot of matte colors. You're probably seeing a lot of shimmery shades, and that is true. Most of the shades in this palette are shimmery. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 mattes in this palette of 15, so keep that in mind for those of you who really like a good array of mattes in your palette. But here is row 2. And then we're down to the last row with Juno, Livid, Purpure, instead of purple, it's Purpure, Dragon Bite, and Helio. And Dragon Bite, and I said this in my Marc Jacobs iconic eyeshadow palette review, so many brands now like to do a version of what I consider to be MAC's blue-brown pigment, and that just absolutely reminds me of that. I feel like MAC was the trendsetter with that shade, and now so many brands try to come out with their version, and that's what that reminds me of. Okay, so that, I'm just going to tell you that when I swatch that version right there of MAC's blue-brown pigment, which is Dragon Bite, it does get a little clumpy, but you can see right there that it is kind of like a duochrome, but most, again, going back to this, most are shimmery shades, or like those foil type shades that Natasha Denona is famous for. Not a whole lot of mattes in this palette, so you have enough matte to be able to pop one in your crease, but if you're gonna go for a, you know, full-on look, then you may want to consider adding another palette to that. I don't consider that a bad thing. I would rather a whole palette full of shimmers, foiled shadows, glitters, whatever, anything sparkly and shiny. I would prefer that, and then be able to like grab an all matte palette to be able to add to it. Just so that you have an idea, I am wearing, what am I wearing? Okay, so on the crease, I am wearing this shade right here, which is this corner matte. On all over the lid, I am wearing this kind of purpley shade right here in the last row. And then in the center of the lid, I am wearing this shade right here, in addition to wearing it on the corners of my eyes. And then I didn't wear a brow highlight today, but I did wear this bright pink in the crease as well. So let me zoom you in. And that way, I know a lot of you have been requesting tutorials from me on these eyeshadow palettes that I've been reviewing. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm trying to get up all these product reviews first just because they're new to Sephora and Ulta, and I know y'all are gonna wanna know if you need to, if you know, you're wanting to pick them up or not. And so as soon as this madness ends, I will start filming tutorials on all of these products. So bear with me, be patient with me, I will get those up for you. So let me just show you real quick. This is the eye look. So I had, as the base, put that kind of grayish brown, and then in the crease on top of that, I did that kind of fuchsia pink. I did that purpley shade all over the lid, and I did apply it with a wet brush. In the center is that lighter kind of pinky shade. I don't know how else to describe it. And then inner corners as well, I do have that pinky shade, and then I forgot to tell you, I am wearing that grape purple on the lower lash line. So that's what I did for today. Nothing super wild and crazy, but I love these shades, how they blend out, how they apply, and so definitely wanted you to be able to see how they are performing. Okay, and I did things a little bit backwards this time. I just realized I did not give you the Sephora description. So let me go ahead and tell you what it says on the Sephora website. It says it's a palette featuring 15 brand new gorgeous eyeshadow shades in a combination of warm and cool violets, plums, and fuchsias, perfect for every skin tone. Inspired by her love for the purple color scale, Natasha created the Lila eyeshadow palette just in time for fall. This must have, how funny, because I just would not equate these types of shades for fall. But that's the beauty of makeup, is that, you know what, it doesn't really matter what season it is. Wear a bright color in the fall or winter, wear a dark color in the summer, it doesn't matter, you know? It's whatever you're feeling that day. This must-have palette includes all 4 classic eyeshadow textures in her signature chroma crystal, creamy matte, metallic, and innovative duochrome finishes. As far as the chroma crystal, I see that more in the Star palette, I guess. Well, anyways, okay, I'm gonna move on. Use the velvety shades alone or layered together for head-turning, versatile eye looks for day or night. Okay, and then of course I've already told you it contains 15 eyeshadow shades. I will tell you again, it's $129. I picked mine up with a 15% off discount, and this is, from my understanding, this is permanent. So in all honesty, I don't see it selling out. So if you wanted to wait for the 20% in the for the fall VIB sale, which is in November, I say go for it, because that'll save you, let's see, if it's $129, just consider it $130, $26, 25 bucks, which is really good. That takes it under $100, which is in line with the Marc Jacobs iconic eyeshadow palette, and I've liked this one more than I just caught myself because I think I'm gonna give some of this away. I've liked this one more than I have liked the iconic eyeshadow palette. So that being said, because I just did not realize I was gonna let the cat out of the bag, of course I am dazzled by this. I think I have 3 Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. I have been dazzled by every single one. The Star palette got a lot of flack because of the loose shimmer glitter, you know, and but that's really what it is packed pigment. So, I mean, I loved it. I love the sparkle factor to the Star palette. I loved the Sunset palette, but most people did as well. And then just to let you know, this really does have about 5 stars on the Sephora website as well. So everyone seems to be loving this one. There is controversy on how Sephora does their reviews, and if there's negative reviews, I guess maybe they take them down sometimes. I don't know. I don't get into all that. But from what they have, it does have 5 stars. So, is this worth your while if you don't have any Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes? Absolutely. It's also worth your while if you have other Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, because the color scheme is so amazing in this palette. Because honestly, you can use this in the summer. You can use this in the spring when you're getting ready for summer, and apparently she created this specifically for fall, so it seems that it is, Natasha Denona herself is saying it is fall appropriate. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you wear and when. If you love it, hey, I'm feeling this eyeshadow today. Wear it, who cares, you know? The only thing I don't do as far as like protocol is I don't wear white after Labor Day, but I am one of those people who will mix gold and silver jewelry. I browns and blacks. I kind of do all that stuff. But, and same thing with makeup. If you're feeling one thing in one season, just wear it. Who cares? Heck, especially if you pay this much for it, right? I'm dazzled by this, you guys. I love it. Now, most of these are very buttery smooth. There are a few that are a little bit more dry, but that's okay. Like this Dragon Bite shade is a little on the drier side. Some of the mattes are a little bit on the drier side. No big deal. I find most of these foiled shades to be very, very smooth and buttery. You're getting a very decent amount of product too. Let's see, you're getting 15 eyeshadows at 2.5 grams. You're getting 15 eyeshadows at 0.08 grams, which is 2.5 grams total. Hang tight, let me get my Sunset palette and I will tell you how that matches up, although I am pretty certain it is identical. The Sunset palette, same thing, 0.08 ounces at 2.5 grams. So this was the Sunset palette. This is the Lila palette. These colors and packaging are so pretty. Oh, I love them. Look, this is so, so nice. Worth every cent, you guys. I would absolutely tell you if it was not worth $129, and it is absolutely worth $129. Here was the Star palette. So this one I feel like was this the same price? I can't remember. This came out last year around this time. Natasha Denona's been busy. She's been coming out with all these palettes. But see what I mean when I say okay, let me fold this over. This probably out of the three though, this one, the Star palette was my favorite because of the sparkle shades. But I don't know if you can see, okay, let me cover myself up. Like this shade right here is like, it's packed glitter, you know? And a lot of people had a problem with that. So like, for example, over here too. You see how sparkly that is? That's because that's packed glitter. It's no big deal. Pack on some glitter glue. Best invention ever. You guys, if you are wearing eyeshadows that have kind of like a loose shimmer, glitter, whatever, Too Faced makes a lot of those. And it's the kind that like it'll leave the base and all the glitter will fall off. If you're using any kinds of shadows like this, you cannot go wrong with Too Faced glitter glue. You need that in your life. NYX also makes one, and it's definitely less expensive. However, I don't know if it works as well. I've never tried it, just because I've been a tried and true Too Faced glitter glue girl. But that's what you need to use when you use those types of shades, because it packs on the sparkle. It's so amazing. Anyways, so that keeps, the Lila keeps inconsistent with the packaging for these, and I'm so happy because it's like having a collection, and you can, with the different colors, and you can tell which is what. It's just so nice. Anyways, side note, Sunset palette has been made permanent because there was so much of a demand for it. That is coming back this fall, so I do think that should be back here in the very, very near future. Keep your eyes peeled because that one is coming back. Let me open this up and I'll kind of show you. This is what I mean when I say I would have thought this would have been more of a fall release. The cranberry shades and the orangey shades, but that's okay. Sunsets can be equated with any time of the year. But the Lila palette, absolutely a must if you can get your hands on it. I understand the price point completely. Honestly, if you're not into buying a whole lot of palettes and you want like a good quality palette, I would absolutely say this is it. The only thing is, again, keep in mind that there are only 3 mattes out of this whole group, so you will have to supplement using a different palette. Maybe it's an all matte palette, whatever the case may be, you will have to supplement. If you really want to smoke up your look, you'll have to use a separate palette. This just doesn't come with a whole lot of dark matte shades. You've got 4, like I said, and they are all in the brown family. So you've kind of got like a gray brown right here. You've got a rusty color brown right there. You've got kind of like a chocolate brown and then a lighter brown right there. So the rest are all different types of finishes on the foiled shimmer side. So just keep that in mind. I know people can be particular about that, and I just want you to know what you'd be getting if you were to go this route. Guys, I highly recommend this. If you don't want to pick it up now, put it on your Christmas list. absolutely a Dazzled. I love it. I love this over the Marc Jacobs Iconic. I would keep this one, and I haven't decided if I'm going to return that one yet or not. But at that price, I'm like, oh, I might want to. But anyways, so that is neither here nor there. That's a separate product. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful, useful. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And if you're new, I would love, love, love to have you as part of the family, because we do have a lot of fun talking about makeup and talking about the verse of the day. So on that note, let me give you the verse of the day for today's video. Today's comes from Philippians 4:8, and it says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." So I love that verse because it reminds us that we need to keep our thoughts pure. Just keep your mind thinking about just good thoughts, clean thoughts. It makes all the difference in the world. And guys, there's so much negativity in the world. I know, like, you turn on the news, it's nothing but negative stuff. Everywhere you look, it's nothing but negative stuff. All the natural disasters going on. But you know what? Keep your mind fixated on God, because He can give you that peace in the midst of a crazy, crazy world. So I hope this has encouraged you. I hope you've enjoyed this video talking about makeup, and I hope you've enjoyed the verse of the day. If you're looking for me on Instagram, you can find me at Michelle's Glamour. If you have found this video helpful, I hope you will give it a thumbs up. And my last hope is that you will come back and watch my next video. All right, guys, take care. See you soon. Bye.